Hey, it's JD or Jen Devine from Superstar Health Education, and also I'm here with
Cathy from the intimacydojo.com.
Sweet. Cathy's been asking me some great questions, and I was like, I have a question. As a sex educator in the public schools, there's the state law gives me some guidelines, and in California they're really great guidelines, so that I get to teach like accurate, inclusive, shame-free, pleasure positive like info. That's what I'm required to do by law. Super cool. And I have yet to see or hear of anyone formally including sex toys in any curriculum.
Oh, wow.
And I find this interesting because I know that statistically adults use sex toys sometimes more than they use condoms and barriers. So it seems like there's something missing.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what you think about that.
That's a great question. I think that it might be problematic because a lot of parents, like some parents may not be comfortable with that, and having their kids know more than them might feel, or having their kids exposed to that might be challenging. Mm-hmm. I know that I work with a lot of people that are shyer or haven't been as sexually active, mm-hmm. And some of them, like they've never had a sex toy before, and they might be in their 50s or 60s or 70s. Mm-hmm. And so I think there's a challenge with that in the public system, but I do think it's a wonderful thing to expose people to. Like you wouldn't have a wood shop class where you taught people about how to carve things by hand or with your teeth. You would actually like include the things
all
that
the
can
tools available.
Yeah, all the and even if you didn't have them there for them to use, you might tell them about them.
Right. I mean, and I know there are laws that also try to protect children from over-sexualized information, and right, all these things are only available for people over the age of 18. And I think about people's ability to learn about how their own bodies work and what could be useful. And so I wonder, it's an unanswered question for me because I do wonder about teenagers and people becoming sexually active, and also about safer sex and what the options are for safer sex for people, which of course might include masturbatory behavior and getting to know one's own body. And sometimes there are tools that can be helpful for people to learn and discover how they work.
I think
it's one of those questions that I've always had that
I think it could be really useful because teenagers are very sexual normally, and I know I masturbated with things I found around the house because it felt good, but some of those things could have gotten
not be designed.
Yeah, they weren't necessarily I couldn't sanitize them. Right. I didn't know I didn't know what I needed to do with them. Some of them might had parts that could have broken off inside, and I would have had, thank God, nothing like that happened. I didn't have to go, "Hi, Mom and Dad, I need to go to the hospital." But
that's a whole nother video of the amazing x-rays I saw when I worked at a hospital.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's for sure. But I think that just talking about people, talking to people and normalizing to children that, yes, it can feel good to put things inside yourself, and here's some things you should or should not do.
Right,
to
or
make
things that vibrate, or things that a person can put their body parts in. I think there's a whole lot of education that can happen around that. Now, if we jump ahead and we're educating for adults around that, even adults need super information about how to clean those things and take care of them as well. But yeah, it's just an unanswered question about the lack of access to things that can help teens understand their bodies better.
Well, and if they have the access to sex toys, I know that there's a big thing push for abstinence only, which I know doesn't work.
Yeah, we know that statistically.
If we helped teenagers get sex toys so they could please their own bodies, and meet some of the sexual needs, and maybe please each other, maybe that would delay pregnancies and other things. If we gave them more options, that might actually help them in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, as a sex-positive educator, I would hope for a world where that could happen, but I also know that there'd be a lot of people, like you said initially, that parents would be super uncomfortable with that notion that their child is even a sexual being. I think that's part of the discomfort around sex and sexuality for parents and children at any time. So,
that's a great question. Thanks very much for asking. What do you think? Should kids know about sex toys? Should we teach them?
Yeah, great question.